Hey everybody, Jeffrey Way here. I have a quick tip for you. I'm going to show you how to write lightning fast code by using a project called Zencoding. So what is Zencoding? It's a handful of snippets and commands that allow you to use things like CSS selectors to create your content. So the easiest way I can demonstrate it is just to show you the code. First, you're going to go to code.google.com/p/zen-coding, and they've set it up for so many different editors. I'm sure you use one of them: Coda, Espresso, TextMain, Visual Studio, NetBeans, Aptana. I'm sure one of those will work for you. Just download the applicable one. I'm going to be using Coda in this example. And you can see I've installed it, and there's a plugin at the top that has all of my abbreviations and snippets. So let's just take a quick example of what we can do with this. Let's say normally if I'm going to create maybe a navigation area, I would go to the extent of creating it, anchor tag, home, and then maybe copying it or something like that, and replacing each one, right? So it can be time consuming. What if we could just replace that with a CSS selector? So instead, what if we did UL, nav, and then we want children, and we're going to have maybe 4, so we're going to do times 4, and each of those list items will also contain a child anchor tag. And then I'm going to hit the extend snippet, which is called control comma on Coda. And there you go, it created that for us. Let's say we're beginning a new project and we need some opening divs and things like that. Okay, we'll do div container, and then it's going to have children, and one's going to be header. And I'm going to use the plus to designate that it's a sibling to the div rather than a child to the div. And then we're going to do another one called content, and then finally another one called footer. Extend it with control comma, and there we go, we've created that for us. Now, what if we already have, what if rather than creating our navigation, we just want to write it out like this: home, about, portfolio, contact, and then I want to take that and turn it into navigation. We're going to use something called wrap with abbreviation. So I'm going to select it, and then I'm going to choose Shift Command W, and then we're going to create our abbreviation once again. So it's going to be UL nav list item, and then I'm going to use star to automatically get the number of items there. And then we're going to have an anchor tag for each one of those. Hit enter, and now it's completely created that. So let's just see realistically how long that took me if I was doing this in a real project. Home, about, portfolio, contact, select all of them, UL nav, list item, A, done. That's really incredible. So let's say you're working with the grid or something like that and you need to begin. We could do div container, but it's also going to have a class of container 12 or something like that, and then we're going to have div header, and then maybe div I don't know, sidebar, but it's also going to have a class of grid 3, and then we're going to have another one called div main, and it's also going to have a class of grid 9. Done. Container, header, sidebar, main, and all of this. And I'm speaking it out, so it's taking a little bit longer, but once you kind of learn the syntax, you can do this so quickly. So let's quickly go over the syntax. So you're going to do div. That can be what you're creating. So if you just wanted to do the extend of control space there, you create a div. You do it's all CSS. That's the great thing. If we want to give it an ID, we're going to do pound header and extend it, and now it creates that. If we want to give it a class, we use the period, of course, header. Now, if we want to have a child, so we could do content. If we want to have a child element, we use that bracket, okay, or the less than sign. And then we could give it maybe a UL with an ID of nav and extend it. Okay, so you can go as much as you want. If you want to do simpler things like a definition list plus, that'll just create your opening definition list with a term and a description. Same thing, of course, goes for unordered lists and things like that. If you want to create siblings, you use plus. So we could do div 1 plus div 2. Now the difference is, rather than 2 being a child of 1, it's actually a sibling. So if you wanted it to be a child, of course, you do 1, and then the bracket div 2, done. So it's a really cool project. I'm curious to see what you guys think about it. And once again, code.google.com/p/zen-coding. I'm sorry, zen-coding. And tweet me at NetTuts and let me know what you think of this. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.